Committees in Congress can help structure things in order to reduce different collective action problems and information costs. What they do is they have specific jurisdictions. When I say committees, at this point, we're mainly talking about standing committees, which exist from session of Congress to session of Congress to session of Congress. Right? So they exist over a long period of time and deal with a specific jurisdiction, specific area of lawmaking, things like agriculture, transportation, the post office, right? They have different areas of expertise, different jurisdictions. This allows for the Congress members on those committees to specialize in that area. It also allows them to hire policy experts as staffers for the committee. And all this reduces information costs, as I already hinted at when we were discussing information costs. Now, committees also serve a second purpose. Because they've limited jurisdiction, they have powerful gatekeeping abilities. What does that mean? It's basically that agenda setting tool that the framers had for facilitating collective action. They can set the agenda in that they can say, we will release a bill from our committee and let it get voted on by the whole chamber. And once it gets voted on by the whole chamber, it either goes to the other chamber for their vote, or if that other chamber's already voted, it goes to the president for his signature or veto. We'll talk more about this process in our discussion of Congress lawmaking. So if you're not familiar with it yet, don't worry too much about the details. And just know that committees have to release the bill to the floor in order for the bill to move on to maybe become a law. So if a committee doesn't release the bill, it can never become law. So this means they have gatekeeping powers. Essentially, they can set the agenda for either put a bill on the agenda or prevent a bill from getting put on the agenda. So this allows them to facilitate log rolling. Basically, what that means is if you want your bill released from committee, but you're not on that committee, you're going to have to make a deal with that committee to release the bill. Typically, that deal is going to be about your committee. So someone on the other committee may want your committee to release something. So you make that deal, that bargain. Now, if you want more specific example, sort of like a tangible example of how that would work, I do have one on the annotated slides about committees in Congress. Just a quick sort of preview of party leadership. Party leaders control who gets on the committee, and the committee is divided up between the majority and the minority party, but with more majority members. So it basically replicates the structure of Congress as a whole, but in little mini committees. And party leaders control these appointments, which gives party leaders a lot of power over what work will and won't get done in Congress, because they can pick people who they know will support their party's agenda to be those gatekeepers. So just keep that in mind, that these structures are somewhat intertwined. Committees, parties, and seniority rules, which is to say, the more senior you are, the more likely you are to get appointed to committees that you want to be appointed to, and to like chairmanships of committees and to more powerful positions in general. So these three different structures are all intertwined somewhat and work together to help facilitate collective action in Congress.